So this is our room, and the chordates start here, go to there, and then go along the side bench here, and then end up over there, and I think actually over there with that monkey, which I believe is a real monkey. I mean, real bone and all of that. The invertebrates video should have ended or begun, or at least presented that right there. I'm doing my best to not show the piece of paper next to it. So when we were doing the invertebrates, that was important to have looked at. And that is what is being shown. This is a lancelet. I'm trying to get rid of the glare. There we go. So we have a lancelet under a microscope, which is right there. You can almost see it, but it's really difficult to see what's going on there. Again, do consider Googling lancelet. And they look like a lance. This is why they're called lancelets. They are chordates, not vertebrates. They look like fish, but they're not fish. But this is that is a specimen that I should have shown you for the invertebrates. But in looking at the chordates, this is our first individual. So this is Eukarya, Animalia, Chordata, Cephalochordata, Leptocardi, Amphioxiformes, Brachiostomatiae, and then Amphioxus. In other words, this is a lancelet. So that's the first on our list for the chordates exercise. And this is the second on our list. I won't try to read through all of that, but this is a sea lamprey, which is an agnathan. The larvae of the sea lamprey look a lot like the lancelet. So if you want to take a gander of what a lancelet looks like, the mouth is on the left-hand side there. That post-anal tail is on the right-hand side there. But so that's a larvae. It's a sea lamprey larvae, but it looks a lot like a lancelet. And that's all kind of wound up there. Let's see if we can, there we go. So these are jawless fish. So these are fish. They are vertebrates. That's its mouth there, lacking a jaw, but it's got lots of these teeth-like things that it uses to attach to fish to suck their blood. They're a pest species for sure. But again, that is the second of the individuals of our chordates. And here we have the third. Yes, I started with 0 because I write computer programs, and people who write computer programs always start their list with 0, not with 1. So that's why that's like that. The 3 there is because it used to be exercise 3, but it's actually exercise 2 now. But in any case, this is the third on the list, and these are the chondrichthyes, the shark-like things, and the rays. That is an upside-down shark's jaw. Teeth are definitely sharp, not shark, sharp. And actually, it wasn't upside down; it was right side up. There we go. That's our shark jaw. So that's cartilaginous. And yes, the teeth are sharp. You can see the new teeth erupting behind the old teeth. And what do we have here? Oh, we have there we go. It's a fetal shark, a tiny one. That might be its yolk sac there. Or, yeah, that's what that looks like. So a number of sharks are viviparous, which means that they're born live. So they're not laid in eggs, but other sharks are laid in eggs. This is the next thing on the list, which is a fish, but it happens to be a seahorse. This is number 4. And it's difficult to really see that that's a seahorse. I mean, you can kind of tell if you know what a seahorse looks like that that's a seahorse. Again, feel free to Google these things. Look at the images. Get a better sense than I'm able to give you by showing you through this video camera. This is also a fish. This is our fifth specimen. So that's a perch right there. It's dissected out bones. And here is some other kind of fish. I can't tell you exactly what it is. We can say maybe it's a minnow. And here is the sixth one. So this is also a fish. Oh, sorry, this is not also a fish. I'm an idiot. This is a amphibian. It's a salamander. There we go. I was thrown by its common name. So that is a salamander. So you can see it's a chordate, it's a vertebrate, but it's an amphibian. Versus over here, where we have a bony fish, and in fact a ray-finned bony fish, the Actinopterygii. And here we also have an amphibian. Frog is indisputably a common name of an amphibian. Here we have a frog that's in a jar. Here we have the dissected out bones of a jar, of a frog. And here we have, yes, making these videos is not the easiest thing in the world. And here we have a bona fide reptile, so the amphibians are not reptiles. These things lay shelled eggs. That's a little crocodile-like thing. And here we have another reptile. So this is the bones, skeleton of a snake. And this is a snake all curled up in a jar. I've used to own various snakes. I love snakes. Snakes are awesome. And here we have a thing that descended from a reptile-like thing, because birds are actually dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, as far as we know, had feathers. And of the dinosaurs, the only ones that survived the extinction 65 million years ago were the birds. So that is our a representation of a still living, an extant dinosaur. It's a pheasant. That's its head right there. And continuing along. So this is a mammal. So mammals evolved from mammal-like reptiles, which are a different thing from the reptiles that gave rise to what we think of as reptiles today, and the dinosaurs and the birds. I've got some nice videos that sort of go into what mammal-like reptiles are all about for a subsequent lab. It's our little fetal pig, and that is the skull of, I'm going to call it a bull. And here is another mammal. So this is number 12. And that is the skeleton of a cat. You can see they don't have a scapula. Where is it? There it is. Right. Yeah, there. Those are the shoulders. So you can see the shoulders are kind of held in place by presumably ligament and tendon and muscle, but not by bone. At least not like bone like we have. That piece of bone that goes from one side of our shoulders to the other in the front of or the top of our chest. I hope that's called the scapula. I'm terrible with my anatomy, but anyway, cats don't have it. And those are fetal cats. Sorry for all of you who are cat people. I too am a cat person. To me, that's a very cute cat face. It's unfortunate it's sitting in there dead. And then lastly, we had number 12, which is the 13th one. And that is a monkey. And that's a skeleton of a real monkey. I'm assuming that it was a research monkey that then got reused as a skeleton specimen. In any case, that's it. We have our monkey, we have our cat, we have our bull and or pig, we have our bird, we have a snake, which is a reptile, we have a crocodile, which is a reptile, we have a frog, which is a amphibian, we have this mud puppy, which is a salamander, silly, silly me. We have this perch, which is a fish. We have a seahorse, which is a fish. We have a shark, which is also a fish, although it's not a bony fish. The seahorse and the perch are both ray-finned fish. We have another kind of fish, a jawless fish, the sea lamprey. And then we started out with the lancelets. And again, the lancelets look a lot like the larvae of the sea lamprey. And that's it for our chordates. Most of these chordates we looked at are vertebrates, but this lancelet is an exception. And at the end of, or beginning or whatever of the invertebrate video, we also look at the tunicates, which are kind of closely related to the lancelets. They have larvae that look a lot like lancelets as well. These also are chordates, but they're not vertebrates, but they are not part of our chordate exercise. And that's basically it. So I'm going to turn off the video now.